Next, I want to talk about a number of different things. Since weight is such a problem, here is a tea that is actually helpful. It's called Yogi Tea Fasting. You want to have a little something to eat before you make a cup of this, because it really does knock down your appetite and can even actually make you a little bit nauseated. This is something to improve the quality of your vegetables. These are called fire-roasted crushed tomatoes. Sodium content in this is 6%, and there are 6 servings in this tiny can. That means one serving is about that big. Well, you're going to have way more than that. You're going to have at least a third of the can, which will be 12%, which is okay. Anything above 12% is too high sodium content. So about this much over your cooked vegetables as a kind of a gravy or in a soup, that's really pretty tasty. Now, people talk about pastas, and I want to show you, this is a bean thread pasta as opposed to a standard wheat pasta. You probably heard me say it. I think wheat is not good for people. It makes them impossibly hungry, like I think salads make people impossibly hungry. Next, I want to talk about, here's about the cost of medications. I know I'm jumping around today. Forgive me. If you have to buy Lipitor and you buy the 10 milligram tablet, 90 to a bottle, that is $294 at this Beck-Lee company. Whereas if you buy the 80 milligram tablet, it's $418 per bottle. But you see, you would take 7 a week of the 10 milligram tablets, where you could take 1 a week of the 80 milligram tablets by taking a half twice a week. Now, many people don't know that Lipitor lasts a very long time when it gets in the body. So if you took an 80 milligram tablet and you took half a tablet twice a week, you would be taking 1 tablet, which means this would be, let's see, it's not quite twice as expensive, and yet it would last you 4 times longer. So you save a huge amount of money by getting the 80 milligram tablets. Have your doctor write for like 1 a day so that you get the maximum number, and then break them up. If you're taking 40 milligrams a day, that would be half of an 80 milligram tablet a day. But unless he writes for the 1 a day method, then you're not going to get the full amount and the cost break, and the insurance company is going to get the cost break, not you. Let's see, elevated blood sugars correlate with cancer of the pancreas, cancer of the skin, cancer of the uterus, and of the urinary tract, as well as breast cancer. So what I'm saying is diabetes and those people who are sugar intolerant, those people who have A1Cs above 5.5 to 6, those people are predisposing themselves to those kinds of cancer. And it turns out the higher, the more likely the risk, and so on. Here is an article that I want to show you about. This is about conservation. This is a magazine called Utne, and there are 2 things I want to show you in here. One is this toothbrush. See this toothbrush? This toothbrush has a non-disposable handle, and only the top part is thrown away. And what it says is 80% of the material used by a standard toothbrush is not replaceable, where it is in this toothbrush. This is the 80% of the entire toothbrush, and that really cuts down on pollution, energy consumption, and so on. Now, there was another point in here. Turkey, whoever says the truth will be chased out of 9 villages. And it's amazing to me that I'm still on TV, because I come here and I tell the truth, and generally people who tell the truth are either not believed or they're run out of town. So I'm fortunate that I haven't been run out of town, as I do tell you the truth. I don't know if I've talked about this yet. This is the Time magazine article on who can say what. You know, Don Imus was fired, and now the big gossip is that he has brought a lawsuit against CBS for firing him. He says that they could have interceded, and they could have run him on a tape, and they could have bleeped that whatever. I think he was wrong. I think this is an important lesson. I hope that we take this message to the rappers and have them clean up their language. It would be important for the communities that listen, the young, the black, the white, the Hispanic, wherever this kind of obscene thing is going on about putting women down and glorifying crime, that needs to stop. And the way to do it is the power of the pocketbook, which is what got Don Imus thrown off. It wasn't they really cared so much about what he said. Of course, they would disagree with me. But what really bothered them was it looked like there was going to be a hammer that was going to come down economically on them if they didn't get rid of him. So Don Imus, he says, I'm a good person. When he went to the Al Sharpton show, he said, I said a bad thing, but I'm a good person. Don Imus does some good things, but he is not a good person. He's a nasty person. And I was on his show once or twice as a call-in. And he was nasty and rude to me. And of course, these people are called shock jocks, and apparently, you know, it's like all the dirty gossip in the evening television shows and all the tabloid magazines, that's what sells because that's what the public wants. Don Imus is very bright, he's very entertaining, without being nasty, without going that negative direction, without putting people down. And yes, some people get off on it, but he's naturally funny anyhow, and he does not have to do that. And like Dave Chappelle, I love the Dave Chappelle show. It is so funny. It is equal opportunity put down, or whatever you want to call it. He is just a terrific comedian. I love to watch the Dave Chappelle show.